For dinner tonight, this is Olive Garden. I am at Bunko, and the person that's hosting got Olive Garden and they actually delivered it. So I have some kind of ziti here and a meatball, and this is chicken Alfredo with chicken, and then we have salad, and then we have a breadstick. So happy Thursday. For dinner tonight, we're having an authentic Asian chicken salad. So happy Monday. For dinner tonight, we are going to have slops and tots. So I have some ground beef, I've got manwich, we're going to have some canned green beans also, and we don't have tater tots, so we'll have french fries. But I still call it slops and tots, so let's get to cooking. And here it is, Sloppy Joe's, french fries, and Italian green beans. So happy Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday, but we're not doing tacos. Sloppy Joe's. For dinner tonight, we are having leftover Sloppy Joe's, french fries, and green beans, which look very green tonight. So, happy Thursday. For lunch, we are having garlic beef vegetable stir fry. So I took a Lean Cuisine dinner and I fortified it with a bunch of extra vegetables and also like half a box of the Power Greens that I bought like a week and a half ago at Albertsons, because they shrink down to nothing. So I got those used up and made a really good stir fry. It also has extra beef and a ton of extra vegetables. So smells so good. That's what we're having for lunch today. For dinner tonight, we're going to have corned beef and cabbage, so I'm going to open my corned beef and put it in the crock pot and let it cook on low all day, and then we'll cook our cabbage, carrots, and potatoes a little bit later on top of the stove in a steamer. I like to do them separate. So it is morning. We'll get our corned beef going. And here it is, corned beef, cabbage, red potatoes, carrots, and I have a piece of bread. So I forgot my Irish frosty one, but darling husband has a Guinness Irish stout. So that's what we're having for dinner tonight, corned beef and cabbage. Happy early St. Patrick's Day. For dinner tonight, it's leftover night, so I'm having leftover Sloppy Joe, leftover green beans, and leftover french fries, and darling husband is having leftover corned beef and cabbage in the skillet. So that's what we're having tonight. Happy Sunday night. Yes, it's very hot and steamy. For dinner tonight, we are having corned beef and cabbage. It is St. Patrick's Day, and so that is what we are having tonight. So happy St. Patrick's Day. For dinner tonight, we are having ribs, baked beans, Caesar salad, and macaroni and cheese and broccoli. So happy non-Taco Tuesday. For dinner tonight, I'm gonna make a pasta bake. So I've just got a bunch of random items out of the refrigerator I want to use up. I've got some cheeses to use up. I've got this kind of cheese to use up. I've got some cottage cheese. I've got some box of pasta that's open. I have some chicken, so this is frozen, so I'm gonna thaw a little bit, dice it up, mix all this together with some Alfredo. This is not my favorite Alfredo ever at all, but I'm going to use it up because mixed with all this other stuff it'll be good. And maybe some Greek yogurt. I'm going to shred some carrot, dice some onion, put some broccoli in it, and sprinkle it with cheese and bake it in the oven. And we're going to have a pasta bake for dinner tonight. So let's get to chopping and cooking and putting in the oven. And And here is the casserole. It's kind of soupy, but it looks delicious and smells so good. And we are having garlic bread to go with it. So that is our dinner for Wednesday night. For dinner tonight on Thursday, we're having leftover casserole and Caesar salad. So happy Thursday. For dinner tonight, we are having Chick-fil-A. And we bring it home and put lettuce, tomato, onion. I like to put some light mayo on mine. And then we are having our homemade, they're not homemade, they're frozen French fries that we heat up in the oven. So that's what we're having for dinner tonight. For dinner tonight on Saturday night, we are having I'm having leftover corned beef and cabbage. There's potatoes and carrots leftover also. And then Darling Husband's having leftover casserole and leftover ribs. There's just a couple ribs left and leftover beans. So that is what we are having for our Saturday night excitement. Leftovers. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday skillet meals. For dinner tonight, we are having smoked ribs on the barbecue. We are having Caesar salad as our greens, some mac and cheese, and some beans. So beans, greens, mac and cheese. Happy Sunday. For dinner tonight, I'm going to make meatloaf. So I've got some ground beef. I'm going to put in ketchup. I'm also going to put in onion powder, garlic powder, some Worcestershire sauce and oats, and also an egg. I'm going to mix it up in this bowl, form it into a loaf pan, and put it on my cookie sheet and put it in the oven to bake at 350 for about an hour. And to go along with it, we'll have mashed potatoes. So this one potato's plenty for my husband and I. And then we'll also have green beans to go with it. So let's get to cooking. Okay, I've got everything in here, and now I'm just going to mix it all up and form it into a loaf and then put it on the pan. And here is the meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and green beans. I also put a little bit of ketchup on top. And the last 10-15 minutes of baking it in the oven so it'd get nice and glazy. And so that is what we are having for dinner tonight. So happy. Oh, is it Taco Tuesday? Yeah. Happy non-Taco Tuesday. Meatloaf Tuesday. For dinner tonight, I'm going to make fajitas. I've got some frozen grilled chicken breast strips I'm going to put on a pan. I also have just a little bit of onion left, but I've got an orange bell pepper, a red bell pepper, and a green bell pepper, so I'm going to slice those up and put those on a sheet pan. And I'm going to sprinkle it with chicken taco seasoning mix and put it in the oven at about 400 for about 20 minutes, and dinner will be ready. And then I'll warm up these tortillas and we will have chicken fajitas for dinner tonight. So let's get to chopping and cooking. Now it's easier with two hands. But this is how I like to chop them, in these kind of strips. Beautiful, beautiful colors. And here are the fajitas, and we are having black beans to go with it, and we have some sour cream, and we also have some salsa. So happy Wednesday, Fajita Wednesday. For dinner tonight, we are having leftover meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and green beans. So happy Thursday.